Okay, one last thing in this series. This is a RGB LED. RGB stands for red, green, blue, and green. For some reason the green's at the end. I'll have to remember that. But this one here is the cathode, which hopefully you remember corresponds to negative. Some RGB LEDs, this second leg is the anode, and so it would take a little bit of different wiring. This cathode's going to wire to ground. If this were an anode RGB LED, it would have to wire to the 5-volt terminal or the positive terminal, depending on how you put your circuit together. So my battery's there. With an RGB, this means we could get purple or any shades that can be produced in RGB within a certain limit. I'm not going to get into all of the maths of it, but I'll show you some examples first and then show you how you can change the color. So we're going to put this on the breadboard. Each of the colored legs needs its own resistor. So I've already put the resistors here. And as I said, the cathode's going to go down to ground. And so I'll make that black because I like to have my cables color coordinated. I think it's good for beginners. Black we associate with ground, and the red, of course, we associate with power. So that's going to stay red. I'm going to bring this to ground. Actually, I'll bring it up to this ground. And let's make my ground black. Okay, each of these is going to get its own pin in the Arduino. We're going to use 9, 10, and 11. And I already started some code, which I'll show you in a second. But I want to make sure I do these right. So the blue pin's going to go to 9. I'm going to do that one first. So this is my blue one. Yes, it is. So I'm going to go here to 9. And I'm going to make that wire blue because it will help me. You know, really you can use any color wire you want. I could make all of these wires gray or black if I wanted to. The coloring's just for humans. It makes it easier for us. This is my green leg. So I'm going to attach this resistor to 10. And of course, I'll color that green. Whoops, I had the wrong one selected. So let's put that one back to blue. Try to highlight my green one correctly. Yes, green. And then there's my red resistor. Or maybe I'll move this breadboard up. Doesn't work too much, but okay, so here's my red leg. That's going to go into 11, and it's red, so hunky-dory. I don't know if anything will happen if I start the simulation because the breadboard doesn't, the Arduino doesn't, oh, it's automatically going through several shades. Well, isn't that lovely? Oh no, it might be running, no, it's not running my code. So it's doing something on its own. I don't know if it's the software. It probably is this 123D software. I'm going to stop the simulation and go into the code editor and show you what I got. This time I'm using 3 variables. The last time we saw this code, we just put a number here. We said pin number 11 output, and then down here in the code, we just say 11 anytime we wanted to. It's pretty common to use variables instead. One of the huge advantages, if for some reason I had to move and use a different pin, I wouldn't have to change it in every single place in the code. I can just change the variable number to 12, and then everywhere that red pin is used, it will already go to 12. So my 3 pins are 11, 10, and 9. and they're corresponding down here. So anytime I want to do something with my green pin, I just use the word green pin, and they're all output pins. If we look down here, running code where the red pin has a value of 255, the green pin 0, and the blue pin 0, that's going to give us a red light. And I'll explain more about RGB code elsewhere. But basically, the first number, well, when red is all on and none of the green or blues are on, then you're going to get a red light. Similarly, if green's the only one at full strength and red and blue are at 0 strength, you're going to get green. And if red and green are at 0 strength and blue pins at 100% strength, then you're going to get blue light. I'm going to upload this. Let's see what happens. Green. Yeah, it's still running through those various colors, and I'm not sure why that's happening. Let's see what happens if we change. We're already getting purple. Do I have my pins right? 11, 9, 11, 10, 9, 11, 10, 9. You know, I really think they labeled this wrong, because usually this one's green and this one's blue. Let's see what happens if I change these. Oops, I gotta stop the simulation. Okay, I'm gonna delete these. I'm just making a mess. Okay. I'm going to put this one to 10 because I think that's green. And I think that's blue. Huh. Now I'm getting yellow. Okay, something's funny either with this or with my wiring, so I'm going to stop here and figure it out. But you're still welcome to try on the real thing. The wiring is still the same. You're still going to have resistor, and cathode. So you can go ahead and try this and see what happens in real life. I'll sort it out and do this again. Ciao.